thought that it'd be really great to pop in here once a week and say hey and touch base and share some tips with you all. I have a weekly blog. Some of you might be on my list and see it. I'll drop a link for that below. But I'd love to come in here each week and jam with you on the topic so we can talk a little more about it. This week has been all about comparison on social media. Ironic since we're on here. I think most of us have at some point fallen into that trap where we get on social media and we're watching something like this, or we're going onto someone's Facebook page or Instagram, and we get stuck into that wormhole and into that comparison trap where suddenly we feel not so great and we compare our behind the scenes life to someone else's shiny version of themselves. So I'm talking all about how this is something we're wired to do. We are wired to compare ourselves to others. It's how we evaluate ourselves. And it can work for us sometimes, and a lot of times it works against us and can hold us back. And this week, I'm sharing 7 of my favorite ways to get out of that comparison quicksand when we feel ourselves being pulled into it. And I thought I'd share 3 with you right now. I won't go into all of them, but one of my top tips, and it sounds overly simple, but is just to extract yourself, just to stop and get off social media. You know, when we're using social media, it's actually firing the reward centers in our brain, which releases dopamine. And dopamine is the neurotransmitter that gets us hooked on things, gives us a really great feeling of reward, but it also causes us to want to act on whatever we've been doing in the first place. So when we're on social media and we're clicking one button after another, we're releasing dopamine in our brain, and we're actually getting ourselves hooked on social media, and we're getting ourselves hooked into that comparison. So like any sort of addiction, one of the best things we can do is to quit cold turkey. So when you find yourself in that space of comparison, one of the best things you can do is just stop. It sounds simple, but it's not so easy. Another thing that can be really great to do when you're feeling that crappy space of, oh my God, I suck compared to this person, is to take a pause and to practice some gratitude. And gratitude, I know we have all heard so much about this, but we've heard about it so much for a reason. It is one of the most proven ways to boost our happiness. I know it can sound a little cheesy, but there's real science behind gratitude. So when you find yourself in that space of comparison, if you can stop and say, what's good now? What's good about my life right now? By doing this, you're taking the focus off of whoever you're comparing yourself to and bringing it back onto what's good presently in your life. And don't pull any of that nothing good is in my life crap, because if you're watching this, you have internet and you have some sort of technology to watch this, which means you're privileged in some form or another. Okay, the third way that can be really great to pull yourself out of that comparison trap is to take a look at the person you're comparing yourself to and think of them as a virtual mentor. Think of this person as someone you can use for inspiration or motivation. So often when we compare ourselves to someone else and we feel lacking, it's because there's something in them that we want. So if you can take this and instead of using it as a form of feeling lack, you can flip it and use it as motivation and inspiration, indication for what you want. So you can take a look at that and say, hey, that's something I know I want to spend some time and energy on and focus on, and use it as motivation to take action on what you do want. So those are 3 really simple and easy ways to pull yourself out of that comparison quicksand. And if you want some more tips, got some more for you over on my website. I'll drop the link again below. And got some free gifts for you over on the website as well. And now I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear who's watching this. I'd love to hear what it is you do. And let me know, do you get stuck in comparison? What's your favorite way to get pulled out of comparison? And thank you for watching my first video on here. This is kind of crazy. I'll check in next week again.